myself.
Sports is what we do.
Segura from a knee throws him out.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station, serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
What a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig back here after a Memorial Day weekend. NBA finals are set. NHL conference finals are set. And the Phillies are still losers. Yeah, that's what happened this weekend in sports. Josh Hennig hanging out with you. 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. We got the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan joining me coming up in a little bit less than 20 minutes from now to get more into the weekend in sports and what is the week ahead, because like I said, there's a lot of things that happened this weekend. A lot of tables were set. A lot of chairs were moved around. You had more teams removed from the playoff conversation in both sports. So we got to get to all that coming up here on Game Night. You can always join the conversation at 609-403-0973 is the text board. You also can DM the show through the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank in Sea Isle City. I will start with the Phillies before I get to the basketball and the hockey, because even though we will have the NHL conference finals here on 97.3 ESPN FM, coverage begins tonight and tomorrow night at 7:30, and the NBA finals beginning on Thursday night here on 97.3 ESPN FM. We will have you covered on all of that. We'll have you covered on all of it. But we got to start with these Phillies. You know, these Phillies, I feel like that we are all trying to find answers. You know, I had a lot of Twitter conversations this weekend about the Phillies. And, you know, in past years, you know, we, the fan base, okay, and I'll lump myself in there because, you know, the first sporting event I ever went to was, you know, little 4 or 5-year-old Josh going to a Phillies game. You know, that was the first sporting event I ever went to. The first, you know, hat, anything I wore sports related was the Phillies. So for me, you know, almost 40 years of my life has been involved with the Philadelphia Phillies, you know, sports fandom in some capacity or another. Right now, this team is 7 games under 500. It's the first time it's been that way since the end of the 2017 season. They're 4-11 in their last 15 games. They have a pathetic 6-14 record against NL East opponents. And they're 6 games out of the final wildcard spot in the National League. This is completely unacceptable for a team that we were told has playoff aspirations, okay? The reason why people like you and me didn't care about the Phillies being so far below the 500, the Mendoza line for records, below in the win-loss record, the reason why we didn't care as much was because we didn't expect that team in 2017 to be competitive. We didn't have high expectations. We didn't have an offseason that constituted roughly $200 million in contract spending. We didn't have any of that going on. But now this is different. Now the expectations are different. This is the second year that you've had a man in charge of baseball operations whose sole job was to come in here and turn this organization back to a winner, Dave Dombrowski. You have a guy who's been a former manager of the year in Joe Girardi, a guy who has won a World Series as a manager in Joe Girardi and as a player. You have a pitching staff with 2 pitchers on it who have been in the top 5 voting multiple times of the Cy Young. Zach Wheeler should have won it. Aaron Nola was in the conversation. You have players on this team who are multiple-time All-Stars. You have the reigning league MVP or award winner, and you're 21-28 on the year. I'm not saying this team can't turn it around. I'm just waiting for them to show me that they're going to turn it around. That's what rubs me the wrong way. I was told that this team was going to out-hit their problems. I was told that this team was going to be able to overcome any defensive and pitching issues that may arise. Here's what the Phillies have done in the stretch of games since they went on that road trip that they just returned back from. The 4 games in Atlanta, the 3 games in New York. In Atlanta, they win 7-3. They lose 6-5. They lose 8-4. They win 4-1. Then to the New York Mets, they lose 8-6, lose 8-2. And then that game that was a gut punch. 5-4 loss in extra innings. And then they come home and they also lose 5-4 in extra innings. I said it on Twitter. I can't blame the manager because to me, it's an organizational failure. The front office handed the manager this roster, and then the manager and his coaching staff has attempted to execute a team that is supposed to win, and the players on the field are not getting the job done. Everyone is at fault for this situation. And there's a lot of reasons why we're in this situation. Number one, you went through a failed rebuild, okay? You brought in McPhail and Clintack and that whole group after you fired Ruben Amaro and company. You tried to clean house, tried to hit the reset button with the organization. And the reset failed because you drafted guys like Mickey Moniak, and it just hasn't worked out. You know, when you get those high draft picks, and the best you can walk away with is Aaron Nola and Alec Boehm, it's a problem. Look, I'm not going to sit here and act like that's the only reason why they're in this situation because I'm not that naive. But you had J.P. Crawford. You had the trade because it wasn't working out here. You drafted Aaron Nola to be either a 1 or a 2, and he's more like a 3, a high 3, low 2 at this point as a pitcher. No one even remembers Cornelius Randolph at this point. Mickey Moniak just returned from injury, and I don't even know how good he's going to be long term because I'm still waiting for him to show me what he could do in the minor leagues and spring training he could do at the major league level. And by the way, he was a guy drafted out of high school. So, 5-6 years removed from being drafted, you'd hope the guy would be ready. You drafted Adam Hazley, you dumped him. Alec Boehm, I mentioned. We don't know what Bryson Stott is at all at this point. And in the last 2 drafts, you drafted 2 pitchers who you're probably not going to see for a while because of how young they are, okay? Mick Abel, Andrew Painter. I don't expect to see either one of those guys anytime soon. We're probably another 2 or 3 years away from those guys really impacting this team. So, you had a failed rebuild. The majority of the core of this team is now guys that you acquired outside the organization. Bryce Harper, free agency. JT Realmuto, trades. Zach Wheeler, free agency. Those are your 3 best players, and you got them all from outside the organization because you had to. When the Phillies were going to the World Series back-to-back years, it was because the foundation of the team was built through their own guys. The foundation of this team was built from the outside. So now you're spending way more money than you wanted to. You had to go into luxury tax. And it was just such a, okay, we thought we were getting something. And that's why I say I can't blame the manager. Because to me, the manager is a part of a larger problem. I can't accept that it's only the manager's fault. Now, is the manager the easiest person to move on from? Yes. He's the easiest, safest option. He's not the option that I would go with, but he's probably the guy who's going to be canned at some point. Look, Dave Dombrowski does not have a history of firing guys except for once, okay? I think it was Phil Gardner he fired a few days into the season. But aside from that, Dombrowski, from the Marlins to the Tigers to the Red Sox to now, he doesn't have a history of firing a manager in season. But he might not have a choice. Because in a city where Howie Roseman had his greatest offseason in Eagles history as the team's GM, in a city where Daryl Morey found a way to unload Ben Simmons and Al Horford for actual legitimate NBA players, Dombrowski right now is not looking too good. And the only guy that's making him look okay right now is Chuck Fletcher, because Fletcher's got a lot of work to do this offseason. Still hasn't hired a head coach, by the way. So, for me, here's the problem with blaming the manager. I can't blame the manager for the team that he was handed. I can't blame the manager when I've been told that you hired a specific hitting coach and a specific pitching coach to be better this year. This organization now, from Joe Girardi to Gabe Kapler to Pete Mackinnon to Ryan Sandberg, they've been through 4 different managers in the last, 8 years? You've been through 4 different pitching coaches in the last 6 years. You have no stability at 2 of the most important coaching positions in all of baseball. But I'm expected to blame the manager when I ask the question, why aren't we blaming somebody else? Look, you brought in Dombrowski to change this organization around. You paid Schwarber and Castellanos all this money to cover up the flaws in other parts of the team. The Phillies have the talent to make a run at this. But are they actually going to be able to do it? Text board is open at 609-403-0973. You also can DM the show through the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. Of course, we will talk Phillies, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan coming up in about 6 minutes from now. Over on the text board at 609-403-0973, the texter says, you say you can't blame the manager, but you must not have watched how he's managed this bullpen. Well, listen, anonymous texter, I would give you credit, but you didn't leave your name. Here's the problem with what you're saying. You're assuming that Girardi is managing this bullpen as a tyrant. You're walking in there with the assumption that Joe Girardi is walking around autonomously doing whatever he wants. That's not how baseball works in today's world. In baseball, in today's world, the manager has the pitching coach in his ear. He's got the analytics guy in his ear. He's got the bench coach in his ear. He's got a lot of people feeding him information. And it might be too much information. Okay? So you can, have the you haven't watched what I've seen answer to me. What I'm telling you is the manager is not a man on an island shaking his fist in the air saying, this is my town. The manager has got all these people in his ear. So you can say he's managed the bullpen poorly, but I ask you, the bullpen on paper should be better, should it not? I ask you, why don't we look at the people on the entire coaching staff and say this is an organizational failure of the management of the bullpen? It can't just be one guy. This isn't the NFL where the football coach is the end-all, be-all. Okay, this isn't Nick Saban at Alabama. Baseball is an organizational success or failure. So firing the manager may be an option, but I don't even know it's a solution, because who the heck replaces him? Dusty Wathan? That's your solution? I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Baseball, NBA Finals, NHL Playoff talk next.
The NBA Finals on ESPN Radio.
Curry pull up from 30 feet, goes down as he high steps his way to half court.
Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors return to the finals for the 6th time in the last 8 years. They'll face the Boston Celtics, who are seeking their 18th NBA title, the most of all time.
Knocks down another one.
Game 1 of the Warriors and Celtics. Coverage begins Thursday at 8 Eastern.
The NBA Finals, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
This is Terry Crews, and that is the sweet, sweet sound of a live audience. That's right. AGT is back with the electricity of a big crowd, with the most incredible acts yet. Plus, your favorite judges, Simon, Howie, Heidi, and Sophia. And $1 million up for grabs with a live audience.
AGT is back, followed by the premiere of Dancing with Myself, tonight on NBC.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pets stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
The future will be amazing, and that's all well and good. But what about today? You can feel the rush of a 400-horsepower Nissan Z, or climb to new heights in the all-terrain Nissan Frontier. Light up the road in the all-electric Nissan Ariya that feels like a sci-fi dream come true. The future will be great, but today is made for thrill. All you have to do is get in a Nissan and drive. 2023 Ariya and Z not yet available for purchase. Expected availability is this spring for 2023 Z and this fall for 2023 Ariya.
Carla's retiring early next month. We're all going to have to learn to pick up the slack.
The dessert-making role at Sawyer's Restaurant, deserted.
Tom, if you can handle beignets.
They need a new pastry chef who can souffle like it's a piece of cake.
Come on, guys, we've got a line out the door. How much longer for those croissants?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
TracFone Wireless knows that everyone needs an endless amount of data, so why pay for it? Get unlimited talk and text with 8 gigabytes of high-speed data for just $40 a month. With unlimited carryover data, so you keep what you don't use. On America's largest and most dependable networks with nationwide 5G. Get high-quality smartphones at a great price. Just the data you need at the price you want. Learn more at TracFone.com today. TracFone Wireless, now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Terry Crews, and that is the sweet, sweet sound of a live audience. That's right. AGT is back with the electricity of a big crowd, with the most incredible acts yet. Plus, your favorite judges, Simon, Howie, Heidi, and Sophia. And $1 million up for grabs with a live audience.
AGT is back, followed by the premiere of Dancing with Myself, tonight on NBC.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Steven Ventnor, Stephen, Kate May, we'll get to your guys' thoughts and comments on the text board in just a minute. 609-403-0973. The Phillies are a dumpster fire. The NHL Playoffs, you can hear conference finals action tonight and tomorrow night right here on 97.3 ESPN FM. NBA Finals start Thursday night. You hear the action right here on 97.3 ESPN FM. Maybe we had the Phillies on, people would turn us off, but thank goodness we don't. Talk more about all these things right now. Joining us, he is back for another week. He's still taking my texts. It is the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan, decked out in the Gabe Kapler uniform and outfit. Did Gabe send that to you personally?
No, actually, he should. That's probably not a bad idea, but it wasn't even planned. I just had this on from my earlier show, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll come on the show. And I realized, geez, the Phillies are playing the Giants. So it's not personal, Josh. This is what we showed up in today.
No, that's fine. I mean, first of all, you're always matching. That's always a good thing.
Always.
You got the orange with the black specks are in the shirt, which goes with the black and the Giants hat.
Correct.
I see these things. I see what you're doing there.
Josh, you got to do it. I live with all these women. Everything has to coordinate. You got to coordinate. It has to match. If you're going to leave the house ever, you got to make sure you're presentable. So,
Dad, don't embarrass me.
I try to do that every day. I'm at that point now. I got the teenagers. I like doing it. It's fun.
Right.
The 8-year-old still thinks I'm cool, but if I can embarrass the teenagers, not every day, but maybe every other day, it keeps them on their toes too.
Gotcha. Well, who we know is embarrassing us out here are the Phillies.
Ooh.
They're 7 games below 500 for the first time since 2017. Dave, what do we do with this team?
Well, listen, we assembled this team, and, we told you and Billy and Q on a Saturday before the season, I called them the best softball team in baseball. I mean, they can hit sometimes. They strike out a lot. Fielding is a problem. The bullpen has been an issue, Josh, for what I feel like a decade. I don't know if there's an immediate fix right now, but it's not time to panic yet. I mean, the Mets are, what are they, second best record in baseball? Third best record in baseball? The Mets are playing at a ridiculous level. This makes the division, I feel like the next couple of weeks, this could get away from them. Then we might be in trouble. As far as like looking at them on a daily basis, right now, they're a fade. I can't believe they're favored today. Like, a game should be a pick 'em, in my opinion. I mean, it's not always that easy, but as an odds maker, I don't think we've even adjusted to the Phillies being let's just call them out for what they are. They're a below 500 baseball team, and it's going to be June 1st tomorrow.
I know that something could happen. The bats wake up. We saw the Nats do this a few years ago. Teams go on runs. I get that. And I'm not saying it's not possible. But I'm just having trouble accepting the idea that firing Girardi and instituting Dusty Wathan or whoever from that coaching staff as the manager is the spark. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around it.
I don't think it is either. But, I mean, you know how these things go, right? Somebody might have to pay the price for the results on the field. And it's always, it's that age-old adage that it's easier to get rid of the one guy making the calls than all the guys making all the bad plays or not performing. So, it's not always the manager's fault. I mean, you're there every day. You're watching them. I'm watching them from a distance. I mean, I see the numbers, though, and I see it piling up. Is there something that he's not doing that he should be doing, one? And two, who do you replace him with right now?
Well, the second question is extremely hard to answer because, I mean, do you call in some random dude who's sitting on his couch right now or working in a studio as an analyst to come down and manage his team? Because to me, Dave, the problem isn't Girardi, it's the people and him. It's a institutional failure because you've had 4 pitching coaches in 6 years. You've had 4 managers in 7 years.
Not good.
Like, at some point, changing the coach is not going to solve anything, and you're just going to keep playing this, merry-go-round thing. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Well, is there something that he should be doing that he's not? That I don't think there is. I mean, what more can he do? Do you change the lineup? Do you start?
Oh, they do that every day. They change the lineup every other day.
That's what I mean. So he's trying something and nothing is working consistently. And in baseball, sometimes it takes 2 months, 3 months, especially when you bring in 3 or 4 new starting position guys, or somebody gets hurt and you have to plug and play and find somebody to play consistently in a position they may not be familiar with. It's frustrating when you continue to blow leads or you can't hold leads when you have leads. I mean, as a manager, there's a lot of things you can keep trying. So at least it's not for lack of trying or sticking with the definition of insanity when you continue to do the same thing and expect different results. He's not doing that. So I don't know what. Listen, you live there. You know. Somebody's got to feel the wrath. Might as well be him.
Yeah, he's the easy target. For those who don't know, the Phillies have the same number of wins as the Orioles on the year, and they have one more than the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think
taking shots at the Pirates, Josh. It's not nice. It's not nice.
Well, look, the Pirates are in a rebuild. Okay,
Perpetually. For years at a time, decade rebuild. But go ahead.
The point is that one team, you have 2 teams that are rebuilding, and another team that I was told was going to be able to out-hit their problems. So
yeah,
it's like,
well, that doesn't always work. So yeah, again, it's not time to panic. But I mean, a bad couple weeks here, a bad month of June, they're sellers at the deadline.
Yeah, and you're gonna have more Philly fans going to watch Top Gun instead of the Phillies game over the weekend.
I heard it's a good movie.
I saw it. It was spectacular. I was impressed.
Okay.
Because here, I won't give it away, but here's my thing. A movie as iconic as Top Gun, okay? Like, as part of Americana culture and movie quotes and moments and characters, they didn't ruin it. They didn't try to upstage it. They didn't try to rewrite it. They kept the story going.
Nice. Okay. Well, maybe you could keep the story going with a 3 or 4 game winning streak for the Phillies. I'll start calling you whatever you want me to call you. There you go.
Just don't call me late for dinner. Dave
Right.
Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere, joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM, 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Of course, you can follow him at SportsBK Consig. Cash Considerations is one of the many shows that he is involved in. We'll let you plug all the 200 of them before I let you go, Dave. I want to jump over to what's going on otherwise in the sports world.
Yes.
NBA finals are set. Warriors, Celtics, a lot of juice you got to throw down right now to make any money off the Warriors, which is why, you and I talked about this. I'm glad I grabbed the Warriors weeks ago. You told me to double edge on the Celtics on Game 7. Celtics are there. I feel like it's going to be a good series, but how good of a series can it be, Dave?
I think it's a 6 or 7 gamer. I do. There's a lot of people that can only see the Warriors and Steph and Clay, and now, Draymond's back and Jordan Poole and Wiggins and everything that they're doing. And it's fun. And it's been, I don't want to say an easier road. It's just been a less path of resistance for them to get to the finals. So they have home court. You price them as such. I think it's a little bit too high. Like, this is more of a pick'em series to me, because Boston, is there a tougher path? Brooklyn Nets, Milwaukee in 7, Heat in 7. And now we got to go on the road and play Golden State. They've been able to overcome adversity along the way, define roles. Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. Tatum wins the award for, MVP of Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, Brown is legit. They have everything I think you need, and they play defense. And we're starting to see, again, we've heard it for years and years and decades, both in the book and just in sports in general. Defense wins championships. They're going to make it tough for Golden State. Okay. There's a bet out there where you can bet the game one price, the game one winner and the series winner. Did this with Milwaukee against the Bulls. One of the best bets I've made in a long time. I mean, because it got you some value on a price. You talked about them being a minus to win the series. If you take Golden State right now to win game one and win the series, you get them plus 110, plus 120-ish. If you take Golden State to win game one and Boston to win the series, it's 4-1. I mean, there's some value there. There's so many different ways to bet this thing now. I think looking at it globally right now, you're going to see a lot of overs, and I think you're going to see some back and forth. There'll be a zillion in-game opportunities to take both teams plus points during the game. I'm excited, Josh. I mean, I know it's not the Sixers, and it is the heated rival in the Celtics, but they cleared the hurdle yesterday. They needed to clear by getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, on Sunday. And they're there now. Not that it's house money. I hate that expression. We got more to do. So I think it'll be a good series, man.
I think it'll be a good series too. I think the only question I really have, aside from who's going to win, obviously, is, if you feel like if someone's listening to the sound of our voice and they're like, I feel strongly about the Warriors or Celtics, does it make sense for that person to, instead of betting a team win, to go and bet an MVP future?
Oh, without a doubt. Who's going to win it on Golden State other than Steph? I mean,
Clay?
He's plus money right now, but it'd have to be Clay, and Clay with multiple performances to overcome Steph's popularity.
Right.
It's a popularity contest. I don't know if Tatum was the best player in the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Celtics won. He's getting it. Same thing's going to happen in the finals, right? He's plus 180, I think.
By the way, real quick side note. Can we never have Cedric Maxwell present the award ever again?
What was that?
I mean, I felt like I was at a Boston Celtics, parade or something. Like, it's like somebody should have said, all right, the Celtics and the Heat are in the conference finals. Can we find anyone who is not associated with either team?
Oh, wait. I thought he got it because the Celtics won it. You mean they didn't have Alonzo Mourning or somebody waiting to do the Heat? From
what I understand, they had him lined up because he's Larry Bird's teammate.
Oh,
and that's why they had him lined up. It wasn't because the Celtics won. From what I understand, he was there because he was Larry's teammate.
Can you imagine the benefits we could get from being Billy Schweim's teammate? I mean, me and you, just the run off from that? My goodness. He got to present the award. That was enough.
I'm still waiting for my benefits package. And I've been working with him for 10 years. So.
Wow. Well, I hope Billy's listening to the show right now. That we just put that memo out. Thanks, Billy. No, you're right. It was awkward. Thank God it was brief. Just give them the award and go. I can't wait to watch the games, Josh. I think it's going to be good.
Too. Let's hit up the NHL conference finals here.
Ooh,
because, first of all, we have both games for round game 1, both conferences tonight, tomorrow night, right here, 7:30 on 97.3 ESPN. So we got your NHL playoffs, your NBA playoffs, all covered here on 97.3 ESPN FM. But Dave, I thought the Rangers, you and I both thought the Rangers were winning game 6.
Yeah.
What the heck happened in game 7? It's like Carolina showed up and they couldn't mentally get over the fact they lost game 6.
I'll tell you what, I saw it from watching game 6. I liked them yesterday. I thought they were going to win game 7. I was like, something was wrong with the Carolina goalie. He didn't look right Saturday. He had a bad game. He got pulled. Backup came in. And Igor's getting better. Igor was getting more confident, looking calm. And I was like, I think this team's going to win. If they score first, they're going to win. And then Carolina took a penalty, power play goal, boom. Trouba delivers that hit, power play goal, 2-0. That was a wrap. I was on the air on Sportsbook Consigliere. I was like, this is done. That's it. It's over. They're not scoring more than 2 goals in this game. I think the Rangers are live to win the whole thing now. I mean, I really do. Them coming back from 3 games down against Pittsburgh, knocking Crosby out, winning that series, fighting through the adversity. I think they were the better team for the majority of the series against Carolina. They just took unfortunate penalties at the time. I don't think there were that many bad goals. They just got outplayed in Carolina.
Yeah.
Although I thought the first game they outplayed them and just lost. They gave that game up. But if anybody's going to beat Tampa, which, again, they're the favorite, they should be. They got Vasilevsky, and they got a veterans 2 years in a row. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. I think the only team equipped to beat Tampa right now is the Rangers. And I think the Stanley Cup final champ, the team that's going to hoist the trophy, is the winner of the Eastern Conference Series.
That's interesting because I'm hearing a lot of the TV NHL analysts saying the winner of the Western Conference Series is going to win the cup. But you're saying, hold on, boys, Eastern Conference. Now, as part of that, because of the goaltenders, you're saying Shesterkin and Vasilevsky are so much better than what the West has to offer in between the pipes.
Without a doubt. That's where it starts. But I like the way, I don't know if it's old school, but I like the way the Eastern Conference teams are playing right now. They're playing that winning and playoff hockey. Not that the other 2 teams aren't. Colorado really had a big challenge with St. Louis and had to overcome their own adversity there. I just don't know if Kemper can catch the puck enough. It bounces off him all the time. There's too many rebounds. And
he would have been a really bad baseball player.
Yeah, he keeps it in front of him, but he can't get it in the glove.
Right.
And I mean, as far as Mike Smith, was a fantastic effort to get Edmonton over the hump. All right. They won the first round series. Now we got Calgary, heated rivalry, big game. That was pond hockey. They were flying back and forth. There's not going to be that much open space the entire series than they had in that first game when it finished 9-6.
Right.
Now they got the best player. McDavid is the best player.
Colorado's got the second best player.
And they have exactly. So, and McKinnon's going to battle. Could be 2 different styles, right? Contrast, Eastern Conference, a lot of unders. I think you're going to see 5 as a total. And in the Western Conference, it's already 7 at the majority of books all around because it's going to be that type of game where the winner's got to score 4 minimum to win the game.
Is that a situation, Dave, where you almost tell people maybe to stay away from the over-under in the Western Conference because there's unpredictability there?
I mean, I wouldn't bet it under, and they're making the juice very expensive to bet it under. When they move the number to 7, and now they tell you got to lay 130 or more to bet under, That's a steep price to pay for the total, which you have to get a perfect ride or some inept goaltending or something to happen, a referee to call multiple penalties to give them multiple chances
Right.
to get over the total. So, yeah, maybe it's a pause. Maybe it's an in-game play. Let the first 5 minutes, hopefully no goal scored, and it comes down to 6, and then you can play it over. Because I think 7 is it's a 4-3 game. May not know who's going to win, but it's 4-3. It could be even 5-2 when you come up with the scenarios. Those exact scores are also available to bet in a lot of books. So, again, I'm excited because I think we got the 4 best teams playing their best hockey right now. And as a hockey fan, somebody who's looking at this, I'm excited to watch it, listen to it, all this stuff. I think it's going to be really, really good for the game, for all of us. And I still think Tampa. I still do. But the Rangers are live now.
I will say this. Mike Smith may be the worst of the 4 goalies left, but he's probably the most jacked of the 4 goalies.
Did you see that post-game press conference?
Exactly. Like he had veins popping out of his arms. He had the traps going in his neck. I was like, what is this dude doing in the offseason?
What a subtle flex. He's sitting there with no shirt on and a towel, a short little one right around his neck. So you could see him and everything that he was working with. And I was like, that's my goalie right there. Like, that's what makes Edmonton live. Like, I want that guy. He's on national TV. I don't even know if he touched up his hair, tried to pull it back or nothing. He was all jacked up, just
come on. You know those hockey players, they all got good hair. They just flip it up and they're good to go.
It is pretty impressive. I had it back in the day too, Josh. I mean, I used to flow out of my helmet. I get it, but I was impressed. That's what I want my goalie doing. Go tell everybody, Mike, we're going to win this cup, baby. Let's go. I thought it was awesome. The post-game press conferences or the interviews with the goalies. I mean, I got on board with Louis Domingue from his interview. I mean, him and the spicy pork and broccoli, not the best. Come on, let's go. That's my guy. I'm gonna actually block a shot.
You and I both know the best part of that Louis interview wasn't just that he ate the spicy pork and broccoli. It was the reporter who asked him, "What did you eat?" Like, that was like perfect timing. Like, if that reporter didn't, I don't know her name. I never figured out what her name was. Was Emily? Okay. Yeah. Well, she's done a great job this postseason. She's saying thanks for coming on the interview in the guys' languages. Like, the guys Czech, she thanks him in Czech. Like, she's doing a great job. Yeah. Just wish I saw more of her face instead of that mask on her face. But that's another story.
Somebody got the memo. She's been having a mask off a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
By the way, she's a Jersey
Louis'
girl.
hair was perfect. He just won a game in triple overtime.
Yeah.
He did the interview. His hair was perfect. And he gets not the best and walked off. It was done.
I mean, we need to have these hockey goalies go out and get some like hair product endorsements or something. Like, you know, I see Troy Polamalu out there. Where's Mike Smith and Louis doing the commercials?
Listen, if Mike Smith wins the Stanley Cup, I think you got his deal set up right for him.
Yeah,
he's either doing
Plus or something.
Some gym commercial or something, or some hair commercials.
Or both. He could do both.
There you go.
He could be in the one commercial break endorsing, Pert Plus or Suave or whatever the hair product that people are into nowadays. And then, I mean, Dave, I got hair, but I don't have that much hair. I don't let it grow too long. It gets too crazy. I got that crazy Italian hair. So.
Yeah, I used to have it too, but now I try to keep it nice and tight and clean. But if you got it, flaunt it. You gotta wear it. Show it off.
He's Dave Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere. Cash Considerations is the podcast that I listen to. What are the other shows? Because I don't want to miss out on one.
Bostonian versus the Book, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. East Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. It's available on props.com and live on YouTube every day. Also on Sports Grid and Sirius XM 159 from 4 to 7. It's called In Game Live. That's available at sportsgrid.com as well. And then, like this week, I'm going to be on MLB Network. I guess I'm doing the car wash there. So we'll be on the pregame spread. We might be on the morning show with the guys, and then on Better's Eye as well. So we'll talk baseball Thursday. The rest of the week, we're doing our regular thing, talking about gambling lines and all this other stuff. Thank you, sir.
At SportsBK Consig is where he is on Twitter as well. Dave, go bet some Giants Phillies action.
Giants tonight, and I'm thinking the game over, but we'll know in about 10 minutes.
How about over in the Giants Phillies, combine it with the over the Oilers
in the hockey game? There you go. Over parlay. All right, it's plus money.
We'll try that out. See what happens.
See you, Josh.
See you, Dave. Take care of yourself. Josh Hennig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Yes, Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals of the NHL Playoffs right here on your home for the Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, the NBA Playoffs, the NHL Playoffs, PGA Championship a couple weeks ago, and more right here. 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Your text on the other side.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Download it now in the Apple Store or Google Play.
This is Terry Crews, and that is the sweet, sweet sound of a live audience. That's right. AGT is back with the electricity of a big crowd, with the most incredible acts yet. Plus, your favorite judges, Simon, Howie, Heidi, and Sophia. And $1 million up for grabs with a live audience.
AGT is back, followed by the premiere of Dancing with Myself, tonight on NBC.
O'Reilly. Stay cool this summer with AC Pro Refrigerant and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate, plus earn double O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro Refrigerant products. Beat the heat before you hit the road with AC Pro Refrigerant at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Just thinking about how people all talk to cats the same way. You know, that calming voice those floofers pretend they can't hear, all cute and standoffish. It does get their motors purring, though. Let's see if it sounds like catnip to your ears when I say, pets stay free at Motel 6 in rooms that are more comfy than a box full of yarn. Do you like that, people? I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the laser light on. For you.
The final wing is ahead of schedule.
Slater's Construction Company has built a solid reputation.
Yeah, foundation looks great. Let's get a team in place for analysis.
Now they need structural engineers to support their business expansion.
We should have engineers in-house. That would put us ahead of the competition.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
97.3 ESPN and TrackPhone Wireless want to share ideas with you for enjoying the great outdoors in South Jersey. Here are some popular outdoor ideas this spring. How about taking a walk on the Ocean City, Atlantic City, or Wildwood boardwalks? Or check out the perfect place to watch a sunset. How about the Point in Longport or the Cove in Brigantine? Brought to you by TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching. But a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Terry Crews, and that is the sweet, sweet sound of a live audience. That's right. AGT is back with the electricity of a big crowd, with the most incredible acts yet. Plus, your favorite judges, Simon, Howie, Heidi, and Sophia. And $1 million up for grabs with a live audience.
AGT is back, followed by the premiere of Dancing with Myself, tonight on NBC.
No matter the make, no matter the mileage, no matter what you owe, Matt Blatt Kia wants your vehicle today. We need to replenish our inventory, so we need your vehicle. No matter the situation, even if you're stuck in a loan or a lease, Matt Blatt Kia wants to get you released. Get cash for your car today, even if you don't buy a car from us. But why wouldn't you buy a new vehicle? Because if you have a job and clear $350 per week, Matt Blatt Kia wants to approve you today with 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days on any brand new Kia or pre-owned vehicle in stock. And don't forget, you can't make a mistake with our 4-day love it or leave it return policy.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
On approved credit plus applicable taxes and fees. See dealer for details. Not all will qualify. Deferred payment through TFCU. Interest accrues from date of sale. Offers don't combine. Go to mattblattkianj.com for complete details. Expires 6/30/22. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and now on Route 37 in Toms River.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
As I mentioned, Western Conference Finals tonight, 7:30 p.m. The coverage here on 97.3 ESPN. And then tomorrow night, Eastern Conference Game 1. Conference Finals, 7:30 as well. Here on 97.3 ESPN FM. And then Thursday night, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We got you covered all week long. Here on 97.3 ESPN. And the Phillies game just started. And Ranger Suarez just gave up a run to start the game. This game already has, whoa. I mean, Estrada's halfway down the line, and they tell him to hit the brakes and run back to third base. He looks like he almost hurt himself. Giants are almost on the board. Guess the Giants don't know that Herrera's got a noodle arm out there. Herrera don't got some cannon for an arm in center field. Come on. You hit the deepest part of the park. You bounce it off the wall. Let the guy run home. Yeah, there was no way they were, because that was Moniak who threw that, not Herrera. That was my bad. See, he's halfway down the line, and then they catch the ball. I think he would have been safe. That might come back to bite the Giants there. All right. Get to some of your guys' thoughts and comments here. Text board is open, 609-403-0973, or you can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Morris from EHC chimes in on the app and says, some of these relief pitchers are coming in for 1 inning or 12 pitches, and then the manager isn't using them the next day or the day after that. I mean, you have to put some kind of blame on Joe Girardi. Here's the thing, Morris and EHC, and thanks for messaging into the show. I'm not saying Girardi is without any blame. I'm just saying that for us to act like Girardi is the main person to blame and voiding the responsibility of everyone else, to me, is intellectually dishonest. You know, here's the thing, Morris, EHC. Let's say you have a job where you have to get the advice of other people in executing a task at work. And so you're part of it. Let's say you're team leader, right? You're team leader at your job, but part of being team leader is you got to gain all the information for the job from other people around you, and they're not giving you the best advice. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, you might get the blame, but you're looking around being like, yeah, but Jill and Joe and Johnny, they all told me this was the right idea, and it's falling on my head. Might as well tell them all they're stupid. That's the problem I have with blaming Girardi only. Stephen Ventnor chimes in. Steve says, I'm not an irrational fan. However, Girardi's job is to mask the deficiencies we have on defense and in the bullpen, and he's not doing a good job at that. Phillies need a spark, and I believe firing Girardi could be the light for the fire. That's from Stephen Ventnor. You know, Stephen Ventnor, here's the thing, and I appreciate the text. It's a good point. You know, sometimes firing the manager is the only light that can be lit. The problem in this conversation is who you replace him with. You heard me and Dave Sharapan talk about it a few minutes ago. Who you replace him with? Dusty Watson? You think Dusty Watson is lighting that light? Unless you can find somebody from outside the organization who's willing to come in here, like, you know, when they fired AJ Hinch down in Houston, they brought in Dusty Baker, and they kept the train rolling down there. If you can find a manager who's maybe completely, like, not part of this organization to come in here, I think that's a little more believable. Real quick, Steve from Cape May says, players should be better. You are correct. But inexplicable decisions like pitching Sir Anthony Dominguez to one batter and then the 8th inning down 6 runs made absolutely zero sense. Listen, I'm not saying Girardi isn't without blame. Again, but I think we're overlooking the fact that the pitching coach, he's to blame as well. The GM handed them this roster, and it's not playing well.